First page, year one on the list. Old ink, rough dates, close enough it fits. Coffee ring on 15, Connie sits. Some border war. You circled maybe, underline, not sure. The 500 entry list, one heartbeat per year, can you believe this? From rumors in the margins to headlines you missed, you said, hold it in your hands, history feels like this. Plague year smashed from a shaking pen. One small note, she made it through again. Revolution stacked like receipts, half torn. June 1st kiss, same night the king was warm. The 500 entry list, one heartbeat per year, can you believe this? From rumors in the margins to headlines you missed, you said, hold it in your hands, history feels like this. Some years only get one word, left, born, stayed, others spill across the page. Arrows, stars, coffee stains. You laughed, I'll run out of room before I run out of days. Then squeezed in 2020, find still here, still amazed. The 500 entry list, one heartbeat per year, can you believe this? From rumors in the margins to headlines you missed, you said, hold it in your hands, history feels like this. Hold it in your hands, history feels like this.
1526, Battle of Mohacs, Ottomans crush Hungary, reshaping Eastern Europe. 1527, Sack of Rome by imperial troops, ends High Renaissance era. 1528, First circumnavigation attempt continues post-Magellan. 1529, Siege of Vienna by Ottomans fails, halts expansion into Europe. 1530, Suleiman the Magnificent besieges Rhodes again. Context. 1531, Church of England breaks from Rome under Henry VIII. 1532, Pizarro captures Inca Emperor Atahualpa. 1533, Fall of the Inca Empire to Spanish forces. 1534, Ignatius of Loyola founds the Jesuits. 1535, Munster Anabaptist rebellion crushed. 1536, Dissolution of monasteries in England begins. 1537, Portuguese establish trading posts in Japan. 1538, Treaty of Nagyvarad temporarily divides Hungary. 1539, Henry VIII marries Anne of Clovis short-lived. 1540, Francisco Vázquez de Coronado explores American Southwest. 1541, John Calvin establishes theocracy in Geneva. 1542, Copernicus heliocentric book published posthumously. 1543, Vesalius publishes groundbreaking anatomy book. 1544, Italian war resumes between France and Habsburgs. 1545, Council of Trent begins Counter-Reformation. 1546, Schmalkaldic War starts in Germany. 1547, Ivan the Terrible crowned first Tsar of Russia. 1548, Battle of Uedihara, first widespread use of firearms in Japan. 1549, Book of Common Prayer introduced in England. 1550, Valladolid debate on rights of indigenous peoples. 1551, fifth sweating sickness epidemic hits England. 1552, Russia conquers Khanate of Kazan. 1553, Mary I becomes queen, restores Catholicism briefly. 1554, Portuguese found Macau. 1555, Peace of Augsburg, allows rulers to choose religion. 1556, Akbar ascends Mughal throne in India. 1557, Portuguese officially settle in Macau. 1558, Elizabeth I becomes Queen of England. 1559, Peace of Cato Cambresis ends Italian wars. 1560, Treaty of Edinburgh, Scotland independent from France. 1561, St. Basil's Cathedral completed in Moscow. 1562, French Wars of Religion begin. 1563, Council of Trent concludes. 1564, William Shakespeare baptized. 1565, Siege of Malta, Knights repel Ottomans. 1566, Suleiman the Magnificent dies. 1567, Mary Queen of Scots forced to abdicate. 1568, Dutch revolt against Spain begins. 1569, Mercator projection map published. 1570, Ivan the Terrible sacks Novgorod. 1571, Battle of Lepanto, Holy League defeats Ottoman navy. 1572, St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in France. 1573, Siege of Haarlem, Dutch resistance. 1574, Ottoman conquests in Tunisia. 1575, Oda Nobunaga dominates Japan. 1576, Tycho Brahe builds Uraniborg Observatory. 1577, Francis Drake begins circumnavigation. 1578, Battle of Alcácer Quibir, Portugal's king killed. 1579, Union of Utrecht, Northern Netherlands independent. 1580, Iberian Union, Spain and Portugal united. 1581, Dutch declare independence from Spain. 1582, Gregorian calendar introduced. 1583, Yermak conquers Siberia for Russia. 1584, Roanoke colony founded Lost Colony. 1585, Anglo-Spanish War begins. 1586, Mary Queen of Scots executed. 1587, Roanoke Croatoan Mystery. 1588, Spanish Armada defeated by England. 1589, Henry IV becomes King of France. 1590, Siege of Odawara, Japan unifies under Hideyoshi. 1591, Moroccan invasion destroys Songhai Empire. 1592, Japanese invasions of Korea begin. 1593, long war between Habsburgs and Ottomans starts. 1594, Shakespeare writes Romeo and Juliet. 1595, Battle of Sisak, Ottomans defeated. 1596, First Dutch expedition to Indonesia. 1597, Korean Admiral Yi Sun-sin defeats Japanese Navy. 1598, Edict of Nantes grants religious tolerance in France. 1599, Globe Theatre opens in London. 1600, Battle of Sekigahara, Tokugawa's shogunate begins in Japan. 1601, Essex Rebellion fails in England. 1602, Dutch East India Company founded. 1603, Elizabeth I dies, James I unites crowns. 1604, Gunpowder plot discovered. 1605, Gunpowder plot fails. 1606, Jamestown founded first permanent English colony. 1607, Jamestown established. 1608, Quebec founded by Champlain. 1609, Galileo improves telescope, observes moons of Jupiter. 1610, Henry IV assassinated, Galileo publishes Side Reus Nuncius. 1611, King James Bible published. 1612, Pendulum clock invented. 1613, Romanov dynasty begins in Russia. 1614, Pocahontas marries John Rolfe. 1615, Battle of Osaka, end of Toyotomi clan. 1616, Shakespeare dies, Pocahontas visits England. 1617, 30 Years' War brewing. 1618, Defenestration of Prague starts 30 Years' War. 1619, First enslaved Africans arrive in Virginia. 1620, Mayflower lands at Plymouth. 1621, Pilgrim's first Thanksgiving. 1622, Jamestown Massacre. 1623, First English settlement in New Hampshire. 1624, New Amsterdam, New York founded. 1625, Charles I becomes King of England. 1626, Manhattan purchased from Lenape. 1627, Taj Mahal construction begins. 1628, Petition of Right limits royal power. 1629, Massachusetts Bay Colony founded. 1630, Great Migration to New England begins. 1631, Taj Mahal work intensifies. 1632, Galileo tried by Inquisition. 1633, Galileo sentenced to house arrest. 1634, Tulip mania bubble in Netherlands. 1635, Pequot War in New England. 1636, Harvard College founded. 1637, Shimabara Rebellion in Japan. 1638, First Swedish colony in America. 1639, First printing press in America. 1640, Portuguese regain independence from Spain. 1641, Irish Rebellion begins. 1642, English Civil War starts. 1643, Louis XIV becomes King of France. 1644, Ming Dynasty falls, Qing Dynasty begins. 1645, Battle of Naseby, Parliament wins key victory. 1646, End of First English Civil War. 1647, Leveller movement peaks. 1648, Peace of Westphalia ends 30 Years' War. 1649, Charles I executed, England becomes republic. 1650, tea introduced to Europe. 1651, Hobbes publishes Leviathan. 1652, First Anglo-Dutch War. 1653, Cromwell becomes Lord Protector. 1654, Portuguese expelled from Brazil. 1655, England captures Jamaica. 1656, Rembrandt paints Night Watch completed. 1657, Great Fire of London, no, 1666, adjust, Quaker meetings legalized. 1658, Aurangzeb becomes Mughal emperor. 1659, Treaty of the Pyrenees. 1660, Restoration of monarchy in England. 1661, Louis XIV begins personal rule. 1662, Royal Society founded. 1663, Carolina Colony chartered. 1664, New Amsterdam becomes New York. 1665, Great Plague of London. 1666, Great Fire of London. 1667, Second Anglo-Dutch War ends. 1668, Treaty of Lisbon, Spain recognizes Portugal. 1669, Vermeer paints Girl with a Pearl Earring. 1670, Hudson's Bay Company founded. 1671, Cossack rebellion led by Stenka Razin. 1672, Third Anglo-Dutch War, Rampjar in Netherlands. 1673, Marquette and Joliet explore Mississippi. 1674, Second Treaty of Westminster. 1675, King Philip's War in New England. 1676, Bacon's Rebellion in Virginia. 1677, Spinoza dies. 1678, Popish plot hysteria in England. 1679, Habeas Corpus Act passed. 1680, Pueblo Revolt in New Mexico. 1681, Pennsylvania granted to William Penn. 1682, La Salle claims Louisiana for France. 1683, Siege of Vienna fails, turning point for Ottomans. 1684, Truce of Ratisbon. 1685, James II becomes king, revocation of Edict of Nantes. 1686, League of Augsburg formed. 1687, Newton's Principia published. 1688, Glorious Revolution, William and Mary take throne. 1689, Bill of Rights in England. 1690, Battle of the Boyne. 1691, Treaty of Limerick ends Irish War. 1692, Salem witch trials. 1693, College of William and Mary founded. 1694, Bank of England founded. 1695, window tax introduced in England. 1696, Peter the Great begins reforms. 1697, Treaty of Ryswick ends 9 Years' War. 1698, First English factory in Canton. 1699, Treaty of Karlowitz, Ottomans lose territory. 1700, Charles II of Spain dies, War of Spanish Succession begins. 1701, Yale University founded. 1702, Queen Anne's War begins. 1703, St. Petersburg founded by Peter the Great. 1704, Battle of Blenheim, Marlborough defeats French. 1705, Bartholomew de Gusmão demonstrates airship model. 1706, Act of Union proposed. 1707, Act of Union creates Great Britain. 1708, Battle of Oudenarde. 1709, Battle of Poltava, Russia defeats Sweden. 1710, South Sea Company founded. 1711, Treaty of Utrecht negotiations begin. 1712, Last witch executed in England. 1713, Treaty of Utrecht ends War of Spanish Succession. 1714, George I becomes King of Great Britain. 1715, Jacobite rising fails. 1716, First Jacobite rising crushed. 1717, Freemasonry organized in London. 1718, Blackbeard killed. 1719, Scotland joins South Sea Bubble. 1720, South Sea Bubble bursts. 1721, Robert Walpole becomes first Prime Minister. 1722, Bach publishes Well-Tempered Clavier. 1723, Vivaldi composes The Four Seasons. 1724, St. Petersburg becomes Russian capital. 1725, Catherine I of Russia dies. 1726, Swift publishes Gulliver's Travels. 1727, Newton dies. 1728, Bering Strait explored. 1729, Bach composes St. Matthew Passion. 1730, Methodism begins with Wesley Brothers. 1731, Benjamin Franklin begins Poor Richard's Almanac. 1732, Georgia colony founded. 1733, War of Polish Succession. 1734, Molasses Act passed. 1735, Linnaeus publishes Systema Naturae. 1736, John Wesley sails to Georgia. 1737, Walking Purchase in Pennsylvania. 1738, Treaty of Vienna ends War of Polish Succession. 1739, War of Jenkins' Ear begins. 1740, Frederick the Great invades Silesia. 1741, Russians reach Alaska. 1742, Maria Theresa defends throne. 1743, Treaty of Aachen. 1744, King George's War begins. 1745, Jacobite rising under Bonnie Prince Charlie. 1746, Battle of Culloden ends Jacobite cause. 1747, Benjamin Franklin experiments with electricity. 1748, Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. 1749, Halifax, Nova Scotia founded. 1750, Industrial Revolution accelerates in Britain. 1751, Diderot begins Encyclopédie. 1752, Gregorian calendar adopted in Britain. 1753, British Museum founded. 1754, French and Indian War begins. 1755, Lisbon earthquake devastates city. 1756, 7 Years' War starts. 1757, Battle of Plassey, British control Bengal. 1758, Battle of Fort Duquesne. 1759, Battle of Quebec, Britain wins Canada. 1760, George III becomes king. 1761, Third Battle of Panipat in India. 1762, Catherine the Great seizes Russian throne. 1763, Treaty of Paris ends 7 Years' War. 1764, Mozart composes First Symphony. 1765, Stamp Act passed. 1766, Mason-Dixon line surveyed. 1767, Townshend Acts. 1768, James Cook's first voyage. 1769, What improves steam engine? 1770, Boston Massacre. 1771, Falklands Crisis. 1772, First Partition of Poland. 1773, Boston Tea Party. 1774, First Continental Congress. 1775, Battles of Lexington and Concord, American Revolution begins. 1776, Declaration of Independence. 1777, Battle of Saratoga, Turning Point. 1778, France allies with America. 1779, Spain declares war on Britain. 1780, Gordon riots in London. 1781, Battle of Yorktown, British surrender. 1782, Treaty of Paris negotiations. 1783, Treaty of Paris recognizes U.S. independence. 1784, first balloon flight across English Channel. 1785, Northwest Ordinance. 1786, Shays Rebellion. 1787, U.S. Constitution written. 1788, Australia colonized by Britain. 1789, French Revolution begins, Bastille stormed. 1790, First U.S. Census. 1791, Bill of Rights ratified. 1792, France declares war on Austria. 1793, Louis XVI executed, Reign of Terror. 1794, Whiskey Rebellion. 1795, Third Partition of Poland. 1796, Edward Jenner develops smallpox vaccine. 1797, Napoleon invades Italy. 1798, Irish Rebellion, Battle of the Nile. 1799, Napoleon seizes power in France. 1800, Act of Union creates United Kingdom. 1801, Thomas Jefferson elected U.S. President. 1802, Peace of Amiens. 1803, Louisiana Purchase. 1804, Napoleon crowns himself emperor, Haiti independent. 1805, Battle of Trafalgar. 1806, Holy Roman Empire dissolved. 1807, slave trade abolished by Britain. 1808, Peninsular War begins. 1809, Napoleon divorces Josephine. 1810, Mexico declares independence. 1811, Battle of Tippecanoe. 1812, War of 1812 begins, Napoleon invades Russia. 1813, Battle of Leipzig. 1814, Napoleon exiled to Elba. 1815, Battle of Waterloo, Congress of Vienna. 1816, Indiana becomes U.S. state. 1817, Mississippi becomes U.S. state. 1818, Illinois becomes U.S. state. 1819, Peterloo Massacre. 1820, Missouri Compromise. 1821, Greek War of Independence begins. 1822, Brazil independent. 1823, Monroe Doctrine. 1824, First steam locomotive public railway. 1825, Erie Canal opens. 1826, First photograph taken. 1827, Battle of Navarino. 1828, Wellington becomes UKPM. 1829, Catholic emancipation in UK. 1830, July Revolution in France. 1831, Darwin sets sail on Beagle. 1832, Great Reform Act in UK. 1833, slavery abolished in British Empire. 1834, Poor Law Amendment Act. 1835, Texas Revolution begins. 1836, Alamo Falls, Victoria becomes queen. 1837, Victoria ascends throne. 1838, People's Charter in UK. 1839, First Opium War begins. 1840, Treaty of Waitangi, New Zealand. 1841, Harrison's shortest U.S. presidency. 1842, Treaty of Nanking ends Opium War. 1843, Oregon Trail migration peaks. 1844, Morse sends first telegraph. 1845, potato famine begins in Ireland. 1846, Mexican-American War. 1847, Liberia independent. 1848, Year of Revolutions across Europe. 1849, California Gold Rush peaks. 1850, Compromise of 1850. 1851, Crystal Palace Exhibition. 1852, Napoleon III Emperor. 1853, Commodore Perry opens Japan. 1854, Crimean War begins. 1855, Bessemer Steel Process. 1856, Bleeding Kansas. 1857, Indian Rebellion Sepoy Mutiny. 1858, Government of India Act. 1859, Darwin publishes Origin of Species. 1860, Lincoln elected. 1861, American Civil War begins. 1862, Emancipation Proclamation. 1863, Battle of Gettysburg. 1864, Sherman marches to sea. 1865, Civil War ends, Lincoln assassinated, slavery abolished. 1866, Austro-Prussian War. 1867, Canada Confederation, Alaska Purchase. 1868, Meiji Restoration in Japan. 1869, Suez Canal opens. 1870, Franco-Prussian War, unification of Germany. 1871, German Empire proclaimed. 1872, Yellowstone First National Park. 1873, Panic of 1873. 1874, Disraeli becomes UKPM. 1875, First Public Telephone. 1876, Battle of Little Bighorn. 1877, Reconstruction ends in U.S. 1878, Treaty of Berlin. 1879, Edison invents practical light bulb. 1880, Boer War begins. 1881, Tsar Alexander II assassinated. 1882, Triple Alliance formed. 1883, Brooklyn Bridge opens. 1884, Berlin Conference, Scramble for Africa. 1885, Congo Free State established. 1886, Haymarket Riot, Coca-Cola invented. 1887, Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee. 1888, Jack the Ripper murders. 1889, Eiffel Tower opens. 1890, Wounded Knee Massacre. 1891, basketball invented. 1892, Homestead Strike. 1893, New Zealand women's suffrage. 1894, Dreyfus Affair begins. 1895, X-rays discovered, Sino-Japanese War ends. 1896, First Modern Olympics. 1897, Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee. 1898, Spanish-American War. 1899, Boer War begins. 1900, Boxer Rebellion. 1901, Queen Victoria dies, Australia feed rates. 1902, Aswan Dam completed. 1903, Wright brothers' first flight. 1904, Russo-Japanese War. 1905, Einstein's relativity, Bloody Sunday Russia. 1906, San Francisco earthquake. 1907, Panic of 1907. 1908, Ford Model T introduced. 1909, NAACP founded. 1910, Mexican Revolution begins. 1911, Chinese Revolution, Republic of China. 1912, Titanic sinks. 1913, Federal Reserve created. 1914, World War I begins. 1915, Gallipoli Campaign. 1916, Battle of the Somme. 1917, Russian Revolution, US enters WWI. 1918, WWI ends, Spanish flu pandemic. 1919, Treaty of Versailles. 1920, Women get vote in US. 1921, Irish Free State. 1922, Mussolini marches on Rome. 1923, hyperinflation in Germany. 1924, Lenin dies. 1925, Scopes trial. 1926, general strike in UK. 1927, Lindbergh solo Atlantic flight. 1928, penicillin discovered. 1929, Wall Street crash, Great Depression begins. 1930, Salt March by Gandhi. 1931, Empire State Building completed. 1932, Bonus Army March. 1933, Hitler becomes Chancellor. 1934, Long March in China. 1935, Nuremberg Laws. 1936, Spanish Civil War begins. 1937, Rape of Nanking. 1938, Kristallnacht. 1939, World War II begins. 1940, Fall of France. 1941, Pearl Harbor, Holocaust intensifies. 1942, Battle of Midway. 1943, Tehran Conference. 1944, D-Day. 1945, Atomic bombs, World War II ends, UN founded. 1946, Nuremberg trials. 1947, India and Pakistan independent. 1948, Israel founded, Berlin airlift. 1949, NATO formed, China becomes communist. 1950, Korean War begins. 1951, Festival of Britain. 1952, polio vaccine trials. 1953, Stalin dies, Everest conquered. 1954, Brown v. Board of Education. 1955, Rosa Parks, Montgomery bus boycott. 1956, Suez Crisis, Hungarian Revolution. 1957, Sputnik launched. 1958, NASA founded. 1959, Cuban Revolution. 1960, Sharpeville Massacre. 1961, Berlin Wall built. 1962, Cuban Missile Crisis. 1963, JFK assassinated. 1964, Civil Rights Act U.S. 1965, Voting Rights Act U.S. 1966, Cultural Revolution in China. 1967, Six-Day War. 1968, Prague Spring, Milk and RFK assassinated. 1969, Moon landing. 1970, Kent State shootings. 1971, Bangladesh independence. 1972, Bloody Sunday, Watergate break-in. 1973, Yom Kippur War, OPEC oil crisis. 1974, Nixon resigns. 1975, Fall of Saigon. 1976, Mao dies, Apple founded. 1977, Star Wars released. 1978, Camp David Accords. 1979, Iranian Revolution, Soviet invasion Afghanistan. 1980, Reagan elected. 1981, AIDS identified. 1982, Falklands War. 1983, Internet TCP/IP adopted. 1984, Macintosh computer. 1985, Gorbachev perestroika. 1986, Chernobyl disaster. 1987, Black Monday stock crash. 1988, Pan Am 103 bombing. 1989, Berlin Wall falls. 1990, Nelson Mandela freed. 1991, Soviet Union dissolves, Gulf War. 1992, Maastricht Treaty EU. 1993, World Wide Web public. 1994, Rwandan genocide. 1995, Oklahoma City bombing. 1996, Dolly the sheep cloned. 1997, Hong Kong handover. 1998, Google founded. 1999, Euro currency, Kosovo War. 2000, Y2K non-event. 2001, 9/11 attacks. 2002, Euro notes and coins. 2003, Iraq War begins. 2004, Facebook launched, Indian Ocean tsunami. 2005, YouTube founded. 2006, Twitter launched. 2007, iPhone introduced. 2008, Global financial crisis. 2009, Bitcoin white paper. 2010, Arab Spring begins. 2011, Osama bin Laden killed. 2012, Higgs boson discovered. 2013, Pope Francis elected. 2014, Crimea annexed by Russia. 2015, Paris Climate Agreement. 2016, Brexit vote, Trump elected. 2017, Me Too movement. 2018, GDPR Privacy Law. 2019, COVID-19 First Cases. 2020, Global COVID Pandemic. 2021, U.S. Capitol Riot, COVID Vaccines Rollout. 2022, Russia invades Ukraine. 2023, ChatGPT public release, widespread AI boom. 2024, major elections worldwide, ongoing AI and climate shifts. 2025, as of January 2026, continued Ukraine war, AI regulation debates, global energy transitions.
First page, year one on the list. Old ink, rough dates, close enough it fits. Coffee ring on 1526. Some border wall, you circle maybe, underline not sure. The 500 entry list, one heartbeat per year. Can you believe this? From rumors in the margins to headlines you missed, you said, hold it in your hands, history feels like this. Plague you smashed from a shaken pen. One small note, she made it through again. Revolution stacked like receipts half torn. June 1st kiss, same night the king was warm. The 500 entry list, one heartbeat per year. Can you believe this? From rumors in the margins to headlines you missed, you said, hold it in your hands, history feels like this. Some years only get one word left, born, stayed. Others spill across the page, arrows, stars, coffee stains. You laughed, I'll run out of room before I run out of days. Then squeezed in 2024, still here, still amazed.